go. No, we're on.
Oh, we're
on.
just going.
We're live. That's how we're doing it.
What's up, guys? It's Arcane Duels. We are doing a live stream for a spoiler for the brand new Warlord Academy preview.
That's
I
right.
said preview in that. It's actually just a whole set. This is the preview.
This is a preview for the set. The set is currently scheduled to be out around August 23rd, I think. So the Gen Con attendees can get it, and the street date will be very soon after that, as far as I remember.
Yeah. So let's just
joining us today, we have Justin, right? Co-Shade.
What's up, guys?
Up in the top.
How's it going?
We've got Ivan, Zuberi, the Rules Man.
Rules Master.
And we've got Dr. Mambo, the current Mace champion and Necro extraordinaire.
Hey, guys.
And then you've got little me, Puddin' Head. And we are going to start off.
Put you right there.
What's that?
Put you right there in the center for everyone to see.
Oh, thanks, man.
You got that sweet
important.
background. It's nice.
I need to reverse that camera. All my game titles are backwards.
Okay, so yeah, we are doing the Warlord spoilers. So anyone that's live, feel free to talk to us if you want. But otherwise, we're just gonna be kind of running through. I think, given all of our thoughts and stuff, we've all been playing this game for years, so I'm pretty sure we can have some insight. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna try.
We did all playtest these cards.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. So I guess to start out with, this is just the Mage card.
This is the Mage. He's a bit more fancy than your average Warlord.
Yeah. So he's an elf. So that has obviously different things, and with what he's going to be as an actual mage. So why don't we actually go over to the next card here? It's his actual stat card.
Should we wait for the stream?
He's actually a high elf. My bad.
Yep, high elf mage from Avarium, which is the same place the Paladin is from, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I believe so.
I think
the... Oh, go ahead.
Is it the priest is also, or am I wrong about that?
I think the priest is just an Assyrian priest.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right.
I was going to say
I believe is Malachi.
Go ahead, Russ.
I was just going to talk about the card,
You mean you're going to do what we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
I was just going to say, the first thing that jumps out is there's no, I guess, opposition to another school, like the triple for holy, triple for dark. There's no triple for arcane. It's just war.
He's
right.
From looking, and that's, I guess, the biggest thing that stands out, apart from him being an elf from the other warlords we've seen. High elf.
That's right.
Excuse me.
No,
when are we going to get a lady warlord? I mean, come on.
Well, the dwarf could be a lady. It's hard to tell behind that beard.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah, but the training is what stands out to me too. And if people are familiar with the arena warlords, this is very different from them because those have a weakness in arcane and are also trained in earth magic. And talking during playtesting, the reason for this design decision is kind of the same as the Force Master being trained in Zertet. It's because of their background, because this is an Elven warlord from Ivarium. They have a much stronger affinity for the arcane than the dwarves and the orcs do.
Makes a lot of sense.
And it's not so much in the elemental schools either. One of the things that's very similar to the arena warlords, however, is the fact that they still have battle orders. This mage still has battle orders. Now, he only has one, but it's a pretty awesome one, especially for Academy. And it's a command spell, which is the other one, is also a command spell. Now, you don't have the command ring and all that other stuff from Arena in here, but you can bet that there'll be some things that help him out with this ability.
Yeah, I mean, something interesting is that usually when you cast a command spell, it affects one creature. or one soldier, I should say. I guess same thing. But this one just says your friendly soldier creatures gain it. So I mean, theoretically, you're spending 3 mana for the melee one, and I mean, if you have like, 2, 3 creatures, that's actually worth, like, melee 1 for 1 mana is actually pretty worth it. Not to mention if you get a swarm going with like 4 or 5 creatures, that's just suddenly super value for just your quick cast.
Yeah, for those familiar with arena cards, it's essentially like the Horn of Gothos built into the Mage stat. It affects all the creatures arena-wide, but in this case for Academy, it's just your one zone that you're always in. But it has that 3 mana, affects them all. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course...
I do notice that it's not restricted to the zone. So if you put this guy in the arena...
like a conversion.
You actually get this all arena-wide.
Yeah.
There's not really rules for doing that. That's just...
I'm totally going to.
Having fun.
Oh, man.
I'm taking Warlord to Warlord Academy to Mace. I'm going to win Mace with Warlord Academy.
I'm pretty sure the community needs to get together and just be like, how can we graduate these Academy cards and use them in arena just for funsies, That being said, I mean, we're not actually done with the battle orders. If you control a formation, you reduce the ability by 1. So formation is going to be a whole new thing that's going to be great not only for Academy, but in Arena is actually going to be pretty outstanding. There's going to be just a ton of different options for ranged, defensive, offensive creatures, and it's going to be pretty sweet. I actually really dig it a lot.
What is a formation?
That's a good question. Formation is a new keyword being introduced, a new trait, which can be found on enchantments. So all formations are enchantments. They'll all be attached to a creature. They require a creature attachment, so no zone enchantments. And you can only have one friendly formation enchantment revealed in a zone at a time. If more revealed formation enchantments were to ever enter the same zone, say you're moving a creature into the zone, you immediately have to flip all but one of them face down. So you can only have one at a time. You can't stack them.
And that's one at a time per zone, right?
Yes, per zone. So in Arena, you can have them in different zones.
Oh, that's going to be so cool, by the way.
Which you're still not stacking them because their effects are basically a zone-wide buff. They beef up all the creatures in that zone. So that they are a group buff, but they only affect that zone, and you can never have more than one in the zone.
But they're all cantrip, right? So that whenever they get destroyed, they go back into your spellbook?
Yes, that's a beautiful thing about them. They basically have the cantrip trait nested in them. And for any viewers who only play Academy and aren't familiar with Arena, what that means is if the enchantment would ever be destroyed, it goes back to your spellbook instead of getting destroyed. So, like, you force them to recast it, but you really can't get rid of it.
Yeah, and speaking of, let's reveal a formation.
Revealed. Fire at will. So, I mean, they are... Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure all formations right now are commands as well, if I remember right. This one, of course, is as well. So things like the command ring and stuff like that will
Which means that Gurmash can cast them.
Ooh. More stuff for Gurmash. Is always nice. So, I mean, basically, this is obviously meant for... the archers and stuff like that, which in Academy, there are... you have the, what is it, the priestess one that has the little...
Sharpshooter?
Ooh, yeah, the sharpshooter. The 0 to 1 range one.
So Temple Sharpshooter is a soldier too, right?
Yes.
Nice.
And I mean, gaining piercing 2 on a shot is always really nice. And then gaining the unavoidable if you want to pay the mana is always really sweet too.
So, yeah, this means that you no longer have to take Falcon Precision with you to get your stuff to land on those stupid dodgy Anvil Thrones and Force Masters.
This one enchantment will give multiple soldiers unavoidable.
Yep. I mean, you have to pay mana each time.
So I guess some things to note in Arena is probably things like Steep Hill, that gives all of your ranged dudes +1. This would also give them piercing too, and this is just you're spending 2 mana and 1 to reveal, and suddenly all your guys are gaining piercing too, that are friendly soldiers, and that's like pretty potent considering like 1 to 2 armor is pretty typical for most creatures. I don't know, Ross, what do you think?
I've been trying to add input because I've been building a book in Arena that revolves around this with Steep Hill,
That's awesome.
and the sniper, but I can't remember the sniper's name.
Oh,
Crimson.
Crimson, yeah.
Deadeye.
Just the fact that, I mean, you place him in the middle of the arena and he can hit anywhere, and then you add piercing 2 on top of that.
Those Timberwolves don't stand a chance.
No. So just, I don't know. I've been making the book to where I try to have a Steep Hill in the middle, like 2 of them. So you occupy both center zones, and have a Crimson, and I guess you could lesser teleport him back and forth if they try to
That's awesome.
try to mess him up.
Yeah, I'd take at least 3.
Yeah. But in in Academy, it seems to be, from what I've seen, that the creatures in Academy, even though they're mostly level 1 and 2s, that they seem a little bit tougher. You see, I guess, more armor in Academy, so the piercing +2 balances nice with that. And the fact that you can get the unavoidable really helps.
Oh, especially against those asps.
Yeah,
Yes.
you just shoot the snake.
They are such a pain in the ass. Let me tell you guys, like killing those guys is just like
waiting all
impossible.
stream to say that.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about the apps. No, but there are other ranged cards that we're going to be spoiling here in the future, and I just thought we'd just kind of throw that out there. I don't know, Zuberi, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I really see this being a great boost to the range strategies, and range strategies becoming viable in Academy. During playtesting, we actually tested like nothing but ranged creatures, and it was totally OP and had to have some things drawn back on it.
I mean, I guess we don't really have that many buffs for ranged creatures in general in Mage Wars. And,
you know what's interesting about formations? Just wanted to say this real quick. Those of you who play with promos, Bloodwave Great Bow is going to be hella awesome with these formations.
He's gonna be able to like just shoot through just like a full, like a brick wall just to get at his target. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna do direct damage to the Iron Golem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I was just gonna lastly say 2 things that if it's on a minor creature, reduce the cost by 1. So that gives the Warlord more incentive to, I guess, try and beef up the weenie guys. But I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Do you want to put the enchantment on the weenie and get the less reveal cost, and possibly have the enchantment gone sooner?
It's not a reduced reveal cost. It's a reduced cost for the.
The ability.
Yeah,
That's
Which
right.
is still really
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
But it's still good. Yeah.
I mean, you could just put this on a bridge troll if you wanted to, and then all of a sudden your Goblin Slingers have Pierce 2.
Yeah, slingers.
I would do it kind of like how you do standard bearers. Put this on a big beefy creature and then have a bunch of weenies around him supporting him.
Oh man, I'm all about the Goblin Alchemist. I want some piercing, corrosive.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I mean, Goblin Slingers is actually a really good point, especially with something like Steep Hill. You could put like an outpost up there and summon the Slingers up there and have the Fire of Will on the Steep Hill, and actually just getting +2 piercing.
Yeah, man. They're Royal Archers at that point for 7 mana.
Yeah, right. Royal Archers. Yes.
Does this affect the bomber if you have it on a different creature and the bomber explodes in the zone? It says non-spell ranged
it's-
attacks.
I don't think zone attacks count as ranged attacks for that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they don't. I wish they did. That'd be sweet, though. Goblin Bomber, though.
Goblin Bomber
That
is
card is...
it's going to be used with lesser invisibility over and over again now.
Oh my goodness. Lesser invisibility on Bomber. How fun would that be? So... I don't know. Anything else you guys want to talk about with this card? Because we can move forward. Moving forward.
Let's move forward. We got another formation coming up for you guys.
Press the attack.
Yeah, buddy.
So it's another 2-1, so it's really cheap to reveal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you compare... so basically all the friendly soldiers gain melee 1. And then, for a freaking awesome 2 mana, you can re-roll all the attack dice.
I'll have a Kyros favor.
Yeah, it's... Okay, like, double bridge troll strategies, if we're talking arena here, just sounds so much fun with this, where you're rolling 6 dice, you get to re-roll if they roll bad, and you don't have to spend tons of actions, putting on a Kyros favor and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean...
Yeah,
And if-
this one spell basically does it for all your soldiers, so...
Right,
much
and I was going to
easier
say,
on the actions.
if you're rushing them in and they decide they want to get rid of this, it's a cantrip. You just throw it back out.
Yeah, you're just like,
You know?
fine.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to
And
waste...
this is the
spells
exact
on this.
same cost as the Warlord's ability. The Academy Warlord's ability. It's 3 mana. So you might as well put this out there first, and then
That's a good point.
you'll have a revealed formation, and then you can use your ability for cheaper.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and
goodness.
Going with that, moving away from Arena back to Academy, this stacking with the Warlord's ability, like, the Warlord can get crazy amounts of melee dice out there with a swarm. It's
Huh.
really strong.
And on Academy, since I know spellbook points in Academy are precious because you only get 40, but the Satyr Gruff from Beastmaster Wizard is a soldier.
Oh.
He's level 2 Arcane, so you don't have to pay triple, but you got to pay double. But if you use him with Press the Attack, I can't remember how many dice he rolls
I think it's
standard.
3, and he needs to get 4. to
Yeah,
get
he rolls
the-
3 dice if you get 4 or more damage. So I mean, you can buff him and get the staggers off, and then he'll also benefit from the other soldier buffs that you do, and you get the chance to re-roll the attack dice to have an extra chance of stagger.
That is awesome, actually.
It's true, and you don't play triple for Arcane, so
Right.
it's it might be a viable strategy.
Mhm.
I mean, in general, though, I could see this being coupled with, some level 2 creatures. What is it? Harshforged? No. Knight of the White Cloak? Is that a soldier?
What, White Cloak Knight? Yeah, I think
White
so.
Cloak Knight. Because, I mean, him with that, and then you put, like, Sanguine Thirst on him. I know I'm, like, kind of, like, saying it's a lot of spell points, but that's actually, like, pretty potent in terms of survivability. Because they can't just burst him down with a bunch of attack spells and stuff.
Yeah. And what's the guy that guards the Holy Guard?
The Temple Century?
Yes, this is perfect with him too. Just if you need a
Yeah.
guy to continually hold up your front line in Academy while your other guys do their thing.
Getting an little extra die of attack on your counterattack would actually be really sweet.
That you can re-roll.
Boom.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
on-
This is a fun
on
one.
The, on the YouTube chat, Ozzyog just made a comment about a clever player will be able to make the Blood Wave viable now with these formations.
Oh, yeah.
Blood Wave
Totally.
Blood Wave is a good mage now.
Yeah, especially with all these formations. And there's so
Yeah.
many more cards that come out that is going to be like, Bloodwave is the mage, is the man.
Just wait till we get to later cards.
Yeah, I know, right? So I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
it's so hard.
so. This is a level 2 card, and I mean, in Academy that does start to add up. But the fact that it is cantrip really helps out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to have these as these formations be cantrip, because especially in Academy you've got 40 spellbook points.
Yeah.
This is 1/20th of your spellbook just to put one of these in there.
I mean, one of the nice things that I've noticed about formations is you put them on the creatures that they don't want to attack, because they're weaker or they have something that doesn't make them as like a strategic of a target, and then they go, oh man, but if I don't kill him, everything else gets that melee one. So they want to kill him, but it's cantrip at the same time. So it's like it's a really fun little game to play, to make something that's normally not a good target, such as like I don't know, Temple Sentry after he's guarding, to be like the target that everyone wants to hit.
You got 3 armor to get through. You could get some circle of protection on that guy, keep him up.
Could Sanguine
Pretty
Thirst
good.
and he'll never die.
Right. I love Sanguine Thirst, man. I'm gonna Sanguine Thirst.
Mhm.
Doing
Awesome.
Edge 22
All right.
with hard decisions is nice. But yeah,
It
this
is
is
nice.
definitely worth the spell points because cantrip and it affects all the creatures in the zone. With Academy, you only need one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you don't really have to take Gator Toughness as much anymore as a Warlord, because you really just kind of don't care about it, which saves solar points. Not Gator Toughness, Wolf Fury.
Wolf
If
Fury.
you take that.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Moving on.
unless you want to put it on yourself. Yeah, so not all the enchantments in this set are formations, but a good number of them are. And we finally have some real staying power being given to minor creatures in our next card, which is...
Promotion! I already revealed the card.
Oh, good. That's fine.
That's good.
I'm not watching.
So, I mean, I'll just start out by pointing out its command. So
Yep.
Gurmash can cast it. Which, I mean, Gurmash is one of those cards that, the familiar that has... I've traditionally not really used him just because he has such a limited pool. And I'm feeling with these formations and cards like Promotion, he has so many options now to buff other creatures in so many ways. That's not temporary.
Finally, people don't use him for his bleed.
Yeah, right? The 9-up lead. It's a bleed chance.
So this only targets minor soldier creatures. So you can't put it on your Bridge Troll. You can't put it on your Grimson. But you can keep those orcs trucking, give them an extra armor, give them 5 attack dice for only 3 mana. And it's even, I think, it might even be worth putting on a Goblin Grunt.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I would definitely. Like, it's just so cheap. 2 mana on your Goblin Grunt, and now I've got armor, I can actually survive a hit or 2.
Right.
Yeah. And
Especially if you play with Ethereal Life Tree.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
or if you're the Orc Warlord and then he gets a vet badge.
Nice.
You know,
2
just-
armor, 5 dice on a little 4 mana creature.
This is another one talking about making the Blood Wave great again.
Oh my god.
It combos with the veteran, and it is amazing for like little weenie swarms. It just they are so much more powerful than you would expect.
Yeah.
I actually really like Orc Butcher as a target for this, because he basically goes up to 2 armor and 5 dice, and that is really dangerous for, what does he cost? 8 mana, 9 mana, or something like that.
So yeah, this is an 11 mana creature, right? So he's a little bit more
Yeah.
expensive than a Timberwolf, but he's less expensive than a Knight of Westlock.
Exactly.
And if you got a formation out there helping him do even more stuff,
Yeah.
it'll be insane.
I mean, also using this on something like White Cloak Knight is a really good choice in my opinion. Just because the 2 armor on him is something that he kind of needs to survive, and he's rolling 5 dice then.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Unfortunately, it's Warlord only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Academy, I think going back to the Sentry, Temple Sentry.
Temple Sentry, yeah.
I mean, again, a perfect target, and because it's not a formation, it can stack with the one we just talked about. You know,
Right. So
you can have
Temple
both.
Sentry's hitting back for 4 dice.
Does Temple Sentry have a melee attack?
Yeah.
It does.
It's got
Okay.
a 2 dice melee attack.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep.
That's a good point, Ross. I
Um,
like it.
and I'm very biased towards the Dark School, and I like playing the. In case you didn't know, I
Right.
like playing the Bloodwave Warlord. Bloodwave Warlord. I like playing him with the skeletons.
Ah,
Um,
yeah.
And
So
this
I
does
just
not say living.
right. It's just minor soldier creature. So if you can get the Bloodwave to bet a skeleton, then he gets those buffs, and then you can have some of these out, and then they get the armor and melee again. You know, it's
Skeletal Sentry.
You could have like a 5 dice femur, which is.
I mean, it's a lot of work in spellbook points to do the skeletons, but it's really fun to play with. If you haven't tried it, I would say make a
Oh
book
yeah.
for fun.
Well, I mean, you can get armory out for them, and you can
Yeah.
get them off of your barracks. That's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's just a lot of options that these cards, these enchantments open up.
Serious. Like with press the attack works on all your soldiers, right?
Hmm.
Promotional work, veteran token will work, and armory will work. So basically, you're giving your skeletal sentries a what is that? A 7 dice attack with Pierce 1 and 3 armor, or yeah, 3
That's
armor.
pretty good.
And you can reconstruct on a Champion's Gauntlet protected Mage Wand, so you can keep them alive forever.
Oh my goodness, no. That
Somebody
Mage Wand,
do it.
Mage Wand and Warlord is so good. Yeah, I mean, basically, if you cast it on level 1, it only costs 2 mana, and that's the initial cost.
Yep.
So, I mean, really, looking at this card, you compare it to something like Bear Strength or Rhino Hide, which gives you, armor 2 or melee 2. This is actually worth. It's a really nice card mana-wise, especially if you just pay 2 mana total. You get some really sweet buffs out there, and I'm really curious to actually see what happens with this card, because I like the Alchemist a lot. I would totally cast that on the Alchemist.
Yeah,
All right.
that effect, armor 1 and melee 1, is worth at least 5 mana, but
Yeah.
you're getting a major discount by the target restriction.
Hmm.
By the way, I
It's
love your
only
cat.
minor soldiers.
Yeah, the cat has decided to grace us with its
I love your
presence.
cat, by the way. It's an adorable cat.
So the Academy Warlord also has his own flunkies to put these spells on, and we're gonna show you the backbone card
we're
of his
supposed to...
army.
Blah. Elven Soldier! By the way, what's up, Shark? So Elven Soldier is... I don't want to say it replaces Goblin Grunt, because I don't think it necessarily does, but I think it's a better card than Goblin Grunt.
It's more sturdy,
It's a little bit more
but if
expensive.
what you
too.
want to do is damage, it's not better.
Yeah, like, it costs... I think Goblin Grunt's, 4 mana, I want to say? Well, this one's
Yep.
5. But, I mean, you get the armor, you lose the melee die, but you get the piercing 1, and I think you get
Yep.
another 2
1 armor, 2 health. Yeah,
2
1 armor, 2
that's
health.
Right. So, I mean, for 1 mana, that's super good, comparatively. And, I mean, you look in Academy, and this card is just a solid card.
Yeah, no, this is going to be the backbone of a lot of multiple soldier warlords in Academy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the Warlord wanted more Wheaties to throw around, and like Pudding said, I don't think this replaces Goblin Grunt, but I definitely think it's going to show up in a lot of books.
This guy might actually protect Goblin Grunt
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
so that it can do more damage. I mean, he's got guard stats,
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
a promote on him. With
Yeah,
a promote
I mean-
on him, he's got some serious guard stats.
Yeah. Then he's what? 2 armor, 6 life with 3 attack dice, pierce 1.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more armory. We're going to see more armory in the future.
Yeah, armor would be
Mhm.
sweet with this. I mean, that's the thing, is this is kind of like a vanilla card, kind of like how Timberwolf is. And so because of that, you just have good stats thrown in there. And I think when you say it's a backbone, I think you're spot on, because it's just sort of like Timberwolf is just a solid card, and this is just a solid card as well. Coupled with formations, you're going up to you could go up to 3 dice, and then you have the, 3 of these guys out here. You do the battle orders, and suddenly you're rolling 4 dice, piercing one.
On
that's
5 dice
repetitive.
creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. He's going to make it into several Warlord books of mine.
Yeah, promotion's definitely a good target for this guy as well.
Yeah, he's solid.
So yeah, I mean, I guess there's not really much to talk about him other than like he's just going to be used a lot. I think it's something that I think a lot of Warlords have been kind of asking for in terms of like a stronger level 1 creature, and we've seen Academy just come out with great minor level creatures in general.
Yeah, and ways to make them even better.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, we got one more card for you guys. And this is kind of a toolkit card for the Academy Warlord.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Archforge Construct. This card is like perfect for Arena. I mean, it's actually really good. Don't get me wrong in Academy, but I don't know. I'll let you guys talk about it more because I just love this card.
Harshforge Construct is amazing. Like, especially for Arena, like you said. Like, he's got uses in Academy, but in Arena, where the Warlords have that weakness in Arcane, getting rid of enemy enchantments has been a major pain in the butt for Arena Warlords. And now they have an in-school answer to them that doesn't cost mana. I mean, it costs mana to cast, but his ability doesn't cost any.
Right.
You just rip those enchantments to shreds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is going to be a dangerous thing for somebody with a hyper enchanted buddy build to run into. Now, granted, it might get one shot by the hyper enchanted buddy, but if you even get one attack off, you don't have to deal with armor before calculating whether or not you can destroy something. It's just the numbers rolled on the dice.
Yep.
It's not that reduced by armor or anything. It's just if you roll 5 damage before armor, even if you would only do 1 damage to the super enchantment, you can just kill the Rhinohide instead.
So on average, you're rolling four. You can get rid of a 4 mana cost enchantment with this guy on each hit.
Yeah. Now, noteworthy is he's not a soldier and he is non-living, and both of those things combined mean it's pretty hard to buff his attack up.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, the cheap level 1 enchantments, they're gone.
I mean, a lot of those that are coming out from Academy, cost, 2 to 4 mana, and this guy's perfect for that. He's great in Academy.
Yeah, he is. Now, if you put a redistributed power on him, he can kill a lot of stuff.
That card. Oh my god.
Of course, then you'd be paying 6 spellbook points to put this guy in your book, but,
Worth it.
All right. Yeah, for his uses on destroying enchantments, totally agree with everything you guys have said as far as Arena. And I think, just reading back over it, says when an attack an object, you don't apply the damage, just destroy it. So, I mean, if they got like a mark for death on you, just have them hit you.
Using it defensively.
Yeah, I mean, he can be used that way too.
Screw those curses.
If you don't want to run him. Yeah, I mean, it's just another option that he can do. But in Academy, I do like using him mostly for, is it Panther Stealth? The elusive one? That and Sanguine Thirst are probably my 2 main targets.
Oh, and he's a minor level creature, so you have all of those options to you. That is so cool.
Using it defensively is a risk, because if you don't roll enough damage,
Yeah, that's very
get rid
true.
of the enchantment, then you do have to still do damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't put a Curious Favor on him, so you're stuck with what you get.
It's a gamble.
I think it would make a lot more sense to use this guy defensively in Arena. I think that's spot on. Because he's not going to be running out there in front to get hit with stuff. It's going to be way better to bring him in later, or to get rid of a curse on yourself or something.
So you could use cards like Charge to actually have him move and gain an extra die and stuff like that. And, if you're going to start running Gurmash, you could just put Charge in there and just have him cast it on Archforge. Just for funsies, That being said, I actually really like Battle Fury with him as well. Because if we're talking about Turbo Enchantment or something like that, instead of
Oh wow.
running a Purge or something like that, you could Battle Fury him, and then get 2 hits off, with the hopes of one of them taking care of enchantment or both of them.
Battle Fury is living creature, right? No.
No,
Is it just creature?
it's just creature.
Just creature. Well, that's right.
Creature.
Because you can hit stuff.
No, I think it's just creature.
It's corporeal creature.
Is it?
It's definitely corporeal
Okay.
creature. Yeah. There might be, or there might not be, another card in this set that you could use with him. Maybe we'll get to that some other time.
That card I would also use, which that card is awesome. But you guys will have to tune in next time we do this.
Yeah, we're gonna try for one time a week. Don't know which day yet, but we'll get there. I'm gonna try and post it a little bit further in advance.
We'll post it on the Arcane Wonders forum under the general section, just so anybody that wants to check it out.
Yep, and we'll post, of course, the VOD on the Arcane Duels channel, and you guys will be able to reference it whenever you want.
Right.
A big thanks to Zuberi and Dr. Mambo for joining us today, talking about the cards.
Yeah.
Good to have you
Good
guys.
to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm super excited for this set to come out. Thanks for coming to the show, guys. We gotta play some games online sometime.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that now.
Could.
I can't now, but maybe one day.
Later.
Some other time.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm getting hyped for this set. I'm getting hyped for Gen Con and tournament stuff. Thanks for coming out and watching this video, guys. Later.
Bye, guys.
Hi, guys.
Dice.